Hello there guys, Francis Gray here, and today I've got a new model kit build for you all. This is the character Spawn, which was created by Todd Mcfarlane. He's a vinyl kit, he's a big one, he measures 16 inches tall, which is quite big for a vinyl kit. I'd probably say he's probably roughly about 1 to 6 scale, maybe 1 to 5 scale, or just between the two. He's sculpted by Mr. John Dennett, that's Dennett, and was even produced or made by a company called Inteleg International, that's Inteleg International, or it was made by Todd Mcfarlane Productions Incorporate. Nice likeness of the character. The only critique with this one is it's quite a hard kit to put together. I wouldn't suggest tackling this one unless you've got some previous experience or skill with model kits, especially vinyl kits, because this one was a bit of a nightmare. Fun, but still quite hard to put together. The main figure itself went together quite reasonably easy, which was quite nice. But the main nightmare, the hard part, was the cape. The cape comes in about 6 different pieces, and none of the pieces want to line up or join together, which is extremely frustrating and difficult. They're all hollow as well, so I had to add little things to keep that solid in there. So I had bits of lolly or popsicle sticks in there and everything, and then a bit of filler adhesive poured in to keep them in place so there's no rattling about. So that'll keep it nice and solid and straight, and it won't sag over time. The base itself came hollow cast, so what I had to do there was I had to add little bits of strips of wood in the inside of this box there to keep it a box shape. And then I filled the inside of this with like a filler adhesive, which I then sanded down. So that's all one piece now, which is nice, because if you just left that hollow, it would warp over time. The actual figure of Spawn himself, the legs I filled with filler as well, so it's nice and solid. That they'll never warp. And the top part I like to keep light, so that's filled with stripped newspaper, so it's all been packed tight and then glued into shape, and then all of the seams are filled in and puttied down and sanded down and primed, etc. Built this up more or less as it comes. I did 2 screws underneath, one to the back of his leg there, and then one underneath to this leg here to keep him in place. Obviously held in place with super glue as well. And then because the cape was not going together, I had to add this part to this part via 2 screws. So the screws, there's one there and there's one there. So that'll never come apart. So I hid the screws by using Aves Model and Clay epoxy to sculpt over it and then blend it into the cape, and then obviously primed over it and then painted it, and you can't tell that they're there now. But that's a lot more secure and it won't go nowhere. When I built this, the cape went on as it's supposed to, but by the time I went to add the collars on there, there was a huge gap in between. If this was supposed to attach to this, then these would have been like way back here, which isn't right for the character. So what I had to do was I had to just glue them into place as is, and then this huge gap I filled in with just normal air dry modelling clay, and then filled in the seams with polyfiller clay, sanded it all down, and then obviously again primed it and everything, and then painted it, and you can't tell now. Obviously, yeah, sculpted in some fold details, which isn't that hard to do, but yeah, otherwise these would have been pointed right back here and it wouldn't have made no sense. The only parts that were additionally added was the chain, which you do get with the model. I had to cut that in half and then cut the two ends off, because obviously with a chain, because it goes round, it wouldn't attach. So I chopped the two ends off and then glued it behind the centre skull, which was actually on the main figure itself. And then obviously I wrapped them around the arms. This was built as a commission for a private collector, which originally I thought he might wanted the chains like flying in action or something, but with me having to send this through the post, the chances of that turning up intact would have been non-existent. So I decided to just wrap them around his hands, and then when he gets this back home, he can pose them. He can keep it as it is, or he can pose them however he wants. It's totally up to the collector. Had fun with this one, but it was a tough build. Took me a little bit longer than what I thought it was going to. I also added like a plasma ball in his left hand. Myself, I never really knew anything about the character Spawn, so what I like to do is when I'm making a model for a commission, I like to do a bit of research. So I started watching the animated TV series, and there's a couple of times and a couple of photos on Google, etc. He has like a plasma ball in his hand, and because his hand was open, it just screamed to me that it's conjuring some kind of power. So I decided to add a little ball and pin to his arm, and then paint it like a dark green. Then I added a metallic green overtone or overcoat, sorry, and then I added highlight with yellow, and it looks really nice and it reflects with the light. You mightn't see it now, but I'll do a close-up shot soon, and I'll try and get that in a better light for you. So yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed this one, although I would suggest, if you're going to build one yourself, leaving it until you've got, your skills with vinyl kits up. Definitely fill all the parts out as best you can, because if there's ever a model kit would sag over time, it's this fella, especially with the pose of the legs and the cape itself. So, but if you fill them out and you screw the parts together and you smooth it all out, then all the parts should complement each other to keep it all one piece. So yeah, I'll give you a close-up view now. Okay guys, so here's a close-up of Spawn. I added like a green metallic look to the eyes, which turned out really nice actually, I think. The chains wrapped around the arm is a nice touch, I think. Like I said before, you could have them free flowing if you wanted, but I quite like them as is. There's the metallic green. I don't know if the camera's picking up the reflectiveness of it, but yeah, it came out really nice. I'm really happy with that. There's the took me a while to very carefully paint all the logo there, all the details on the logo, but it turned out quite nice as well. So yeah, so the fold of the cape. If you actually have this model and you're building it, that's where I made my connection on my cape. As you can tell, it's all been puttied over with Aves epoxy and sanded down, so you can't tell that the seam's there unless, obviously, I'm showing you it now. But yeah, lovely model. Just takes a while to build, and you need to have a lot of patience with it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this review. Please click the like button and share on Facebook and Twitter, etc. I really appreciate it. Please check my other videos for more model kit builds or statue reviews, or there's all kinds of stuff on there. If you have any comments, comment below, and See you next time. Thank you very much, and goodbye.